How's it going, guys? So today I'm going to be showing you how to make speed garage like BK298. This is what it sounds like. Great, most of the drums used in today's project are from my Production Hut drum pack. The bass preset is from my new UK Garage Volume 2 pack. Both of those are available on my website. The link for that is below. As always, if you want to download this project, you can get it from my Patreon. The link for that is also in the description. Let's get on with it. So I'm going to break this down into 3 parts. The first part being the drums. Firstly, you're going to need a kick. This kick's from my pack. I've added a drum bus to fatten it up a bit and make sure it's extra loud. Then you're going to want to layer it with a snare. I then put 2 snares to make it even beefier. You're then going to need an offbeat rim shot. Then you're going to layer it with some hats. Pan this one all the way left. I'm then going to layer it with another one, which I'm going to pan all the way right. This really helps to fill out the stereo field. And I'm going to have a third hat straight down the middle. And then to make it even more aggressive on the hats, I'm going to have another hat, which is an open 909, which has a really long decay. All of these hats used are from my preset pack. Great, now we've got the drums down, we can move on to the effects. We're going to start by adding a white noise. We're then going to layer this with another white noise. And also a clap. Turn that down slightly. So this is just a regular rewind. I've added some reverb on it and some delay, and also side chained it to the kick using kickstart. I've then got another white noise. It's just helping fill out even more frequencies than just having one white noise on its own. Now we've got the effects down, we can focus on the bass, which is the main element of the track. I'm going to run you through what I've got. Let's start with the MIDI. So we're going from E up to G sharp, down to C sharp, and back to E. And there's a slight variation on the second half. As you can see from the MIDI, I've deliberately left space between the notes so that they're getting re-triggered every time. And instead of being sort of elongated, you want them to really fade out. So then when the next one hits, it has more of an attack to it. We then open up the serum patch and see what we've got. So this is the preset Boomtown. As you can see, we've got 2 FM Freak. So if you go onto digital and click FM Freak, you can select both of those. What we're then doing is changing the wavetable position. I've also attached it to this macro. So if you drag these on there, then you can change it using this macro. So let's hear what it sounds like as I change it. By changing this wavetable position using the macro, it really brings out the upper harmonics. So there's a lot more high frequencies in the sound. As you can see in both oscillator A, they're both pitched down by 2 octaves. They're also detuned slightly, so detuned positively 25 and negatively 25. This sort of helps to add that also sort of width, and they're also playing against each other, adding that grittiness. If you go onto the effects, you can see we've got this hyper, so this is making it a lot wider. This is also attached to macro 2, and you can obviously make it more or less wide depending on how you want it. We've then got this distortion on tape saturation, so this is just help beefing up the bass a bit. And lastly, you've got this reverb on plate mode, which is helping to add a bit more space to the sound. Great, so there's quite a lot going on the effects chain. A lot of these effects are necessary to achieve that wide sound that you're hearing. So if we open this Saturn, this is a saturation plugin. So if I turn it off, so it's really beefing up the low end and also the high end. So we've just got the drive at about 17% and the mix at about 77. So we're not going too crazy, as we already have distortion in the effects on Serum. What we then have is this audio effects rack. So the whole point of this is that I didn't want the signal and the bass to be drowned out by reverb. I wanted the reverb to sit on top. So in order to achieve this, you need to create an audio effects rack. So if you just get a plugin, you click group, click on this, create chain, name one dry, and then you drag the other one onto this, and you call this reverb, and then turn that on. So this, as you can see, there's nothing. So this is the dry signal, and then this is the reverberator signal. So when you do this, you want to make sure your dry wet is on 100%. This way there's no double dry signal going through the same chain. So yeah, you can mix that in however you like. We then have this Fab filter, Pro Q3, which is just an EQ, which is boosting any frequencies above 650 Hertz. This really helps to bring out that sort of high end and make it sound a lot more modern. We then have this wider plugin. So this, if I turn this off, turn it on. If you're not already wearing headphones, put them on for this. So as you can hear, it's right in the middle. If I turn it on, it goes a lot wider, and you can hear it in the width of the headphones. But to counteract this, because you don't want the bass frequencies to be in stereo, so we've got this utility on bass mono mode and then pitched up to 500 Hertz. So it means that any frequencies below 500 Hertz are going to be mono, any above are going to be stereo. Lastly, we've got this kickstart. So this is just a side chain, and this is going on every quarter beat, so the same as the kick without it. So this really helps give you that groove and also helps the kick punch through the mix. Great, so this bass sound has a second layer, so this is just a sub layer. If I open up Serum, let's have a quick look. So all we've got is a sine wave and a square wave. We've then got this filter cutting out all the frequencies above 110 Hertz. So this is just sub frequencies. That is also then being sidechained to the kick. What we could then do is also add an EQ and take out anything from the bass 1 to match exactly that. So 110, and that sort of helps clean up the low end a bit. Great, and last thing, we just have the vocal. This has just been ripped from the original track, which is Mika Green Eyes. Sounds like this. Let's quickly duplicate these drums. Great, so yeah, all I've done is add a compressor because it had been through a lot of processing to be ripped from the original song. The quality had been sort of degraded, so yeah, I've just chucked a compressor to make it a bit louder, sidechained it to the kick, and also added some reverb to take out and dull out some of the harsh frequencies. Great guys, thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time. Please comment down below what you want to see next.